Yo. Come on in, man. Come on in. Come on in. Let's have a discussion, man. Pop
Hurry,
up
hurry,
show, man.
hurry.
Pop up show. Let's have a quick discussion. Hey, you on that bullshit already?
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
That's I'm, let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion, man. 9-7. What's up?
Yeah,
Jason Roberts. What's good, my guy? King ATL. More to live for. I think that's your cousin, ain't it?
yeah, man. Shout out to Cuz, man.
Yeah, man.
You talking about real
Have a
cousin,
discussion, man.
not no.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
What's good,
Yeah,
Jason?
man.
What's good,
DJ
BQ?
Big. Yeah, man. Let's have a discussion because this quarterback situation and this topic ain't going away no time soon. So, yo, what's up, Tay? This quarterback thing, but I ain't gonna be rude. My bad. You know what to do, man. I'm just jumping to hear the shit because it pissing me off. Because
Yeah,
white people
nah,
gotta get
I
a
ain't
fair
gonna lie
shake.
to you.
Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I understand, because it does make you look at it like, say what? Just like again, like you heard what I was saying. We was backstage, just like somebody do that. I don't know. We're gonna get into it, but yeah, man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back again. Pop up boys, ready to do their thing once again. This is a lot to really talk about, but it's first things first. We got to really get into this situation that just came on about ESPN, man. ESPN, we got a bone to pick with you.
Yeah, we do. And don't get me wrong, it's not everybody. But I'm gonna give a shout out to Mina Kimes. She about the only one on that network that give the Falcons any kind of love. Floyd, what's up, my guy? Um,
Sure, it's good.
yeah, when it comes to show, look, I'm telling y'all, I mean ESPN and the Falcons, they just don't mix. RB, what's up, my guy? He say he from the Las Vegas Strip.
Oh
Don't give the
yeah, yeah,
strippers
for
all your
sure.
money while you down there. Um, but look, man, what is it with ESPN and Mike Penix and them? And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna just say it right off top. A lot of this is not Michael Penix's fault. He was just put in a bad position because I'm gonna pull it up right quick. And but while I go on my quick little rant, um,
Say, man, y'all got
when you look at
folks on
this
age.
graphic right here alone, and shout out to my boy, let's get it, GA. He sent us this in a group text. Um, Notable quarterback drafted in the first round in 2024. There is no Michael Penix. Why? I don't know. Um, but let's keep it real, y'all. When you talk about these players on the screen, they had suitable offensive coordinators. They had competent head coaches. Now, get me wrong. Caleb Williams went into an awesome spot. Jaden Daniels did too. Drake May, great spot. First year, and Alice Van Pelt, like you told him, Chris, was his offensive coordinator his first year. So, we know what we're going to get out of Alice Van Pelt anyway. That's another story for another day. J.J. McCarthy, injury prone, been up and down ever since he entered the league, injury wise. Bo Nix, AFC Championship game. Why is Michael Penix not on this list? Why? Because it's basically what I told y'all from the jump. Coaches was bullshitting. Raheem Moore had a bad plan going into becoming the head coach of the Falcons. And guess what? Things like this will happen. If they say he's not notable and he was drafted before J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix, that's a problem for me. But I ain't gonna take up all the time, man. Tell me what you think about it right quick.
Well, I mean, Caleb Williams, going first overall, we know all that. We see all the things about the playoffs and the career, and then we got to know about JJ. But I'm wondering, was this like a mistake? Was this some kind of error by the graphic designs of ESPN, being not being able to fit all the
It could have been.
quarterbacks on there and their
It
stats?
could have been.
Um, but the thing about it is,
Well,
to a degree,
let's be real. Hold on.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I understand to a degree, though. I don't believe that
Well,
just
I don't either.
because, like, I know how to make graphics as well, and I'm telling you, I already see the space to where you really can still throw Michael Penix a picture of him right under Bo Nix or whatever it is, and still have enough room. It'll be close, but you still will have enough room to put all that on there. But that's neat. But that's just on the nerdy graphic design side. I look at this and I'm like, okay, Caleb Williams, even though he did have a playoff appearance. He did, I mean, shoot, they were like the cardiac kids, the comeback kids all year. But at the end of the day, it's a reason for that because the first 3 quarters, Caleb Williams, as far as like passing goes, he wasn't good. I mean, just straight up, he wasn't good. Jaden Daniels, they're talking about he needs to be under center more up there in Washington. And on top of that, he dealt with multiple injuries, keeping him out. You also think about Drake May. Now, Drake May, honestly, I'll go ahead and say I was wrong about Drake May because I thought he was going to be Mitchell Trubisky. But right now, he seems like he's doing at least better than Mitchell. JJ McCarthy, you already spoke about him. Bo Nix, I always thought Bo Nix was pretty shaky, but to not have Michael Penix up here, at least to be notable because he is notable. I feel like, but the ultimate thing though, Smitty, I'm telling you, what Michael Penix is going to have to do is go out there and show everybody, his ability at a max level. Even when it comes down to the under center stuff, he's going to have to show and prove that he can work under center. Because I don't know for a fact, but I feel like in my heart, the reason why Zach Robinson has a job right now is because he threw Michael Penix under the bus. Well, he can't bend his knees. He can't do this. I can't use him. We can't run this. I can't call it. So what am I supposed to do?
Right.
But the only way to counter that and kill all that right there, we have to see Michael Penix this year more so under center. And you think about it, going back to the press conference with Tommy Reese, he talked about how Kevin Stefanski and just the office in total likes to do things under center. So we're going to get to the bottom of this one way or another, Smith.
Yeah, absolutely. John Harris, what's up, my guy? He said when you point out the surroundings, you answer your own question. I absolutely did. When you fart in the elevator and I open the door, it's stinking on everybody. That's true. And that's the difference between these guys and Penix. They had a more stable offensive calling, offensive coaching staff. And by him not having an offensive coaching staff that was suited to help him, develop, guess what? It's not going to work. Because at the end of the day, it's all about growing, all about, developing and learning new things and learning the system and growing in the system. But this is Mina Kimes ranking. And like I said, she the only one gives the Falcons any kind of credit. But she had it absolutely head on, dead on. But I'm gonna take Caleb Williams over Drake May. And I know Drake May had a better season, and he can run just as good as Caleb. But I just think Caleb got a little bit more of that it factor than he do, because when you can make those unparalleled throws, and let's be real, Drake May got power bombed in the Super Bowl 8 times. So when you look at the Patriots offensive line, which I'm sure they'll retool, I'm putting Caleb over him, every day, twice on Sunday. But Mike Penix out of this bunch, as I said, when you talk about Raheem Morris and what he did with his staff, and I told y'all 1,000 times, he did not put the right guys around Michael Penix. This is what Kevin Stefanski, this is what his best plan was coming into taking his job as the head coach. He showed y'all right off the bat, the quarterback position is going to be try to be the best position, and it needs to be with the Falcons football team. So when you surround yourself with the right offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, and 2 former offensive coordinators at that have coached, veterans and, rookies of the year and legends and all that. When you got 3 guys that can do that, you have no reason to be bad at the quarterback position, no matter who you bring in. So shout out to Mina Kimes for putting this up. And you tell me right quick what you think about this situation right here with Mina Kimes and how she did hers. Because like you said, you saw where they could put the other than that. That's absolutely what they did.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect example. I mean, very next slide show you exactly how they can put things up. And I mean, you can still put stats next to that. It's just all the part depending on how you position everything. But either way it goes, I think Mina, looking at her list, I feel like it's actually fair. And the reason why I feel like that's actually fair is because I mean, okay, Drake made Super Bowl, so I understand why he got put up there. But if you dive a little deeper into it, you'll realize that that defense was really the real reason, the biggest reason on why
Right.
they even got as far as they did. Caleb Williams, I already told you, I like shoot. He turns into I don't know, John Elway, Steve Young. I don't know who he turns into in the fourth quarter, but the first 3 quarters, it'd always be a little struggle. Jaden Daniels, again, he's gone to the playoffs with a few injuries, a little bit of a regression. Bo Nix, I mean, Bo Nix. Uh, then you have Michael Penix Jr., then you have JJ McCarthy. So it's like as far as rankings, as far as you look at like success so far, success in the season and everything, I think that it's pretty fair to have this list kind of like ranked the way it is.
Absolute facts. And Cosmic Route 333 said none of these quarterbacks taking us to the playoffs with that coaching staff we had. And that's the point. You give any one of these players on this list the same coaching staff we had, you think they would have ended up as good as they had? No. And the crazy thing about it, we interviewed 2 of these coaches of this team in Mike Vrabel and Ben Johnson, and they wanted Raheem Morris. So, like I've been saying, we put ourselves in this position. When you make stupid decisions, you got to expect stupid results or bad results, however you want to put it.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, realistically, when you look at resumes, when you just look at fit and who could possibly come in and just really just change culture, how in the world do you really say, yeah, we're going to go with Raheem Morris outside of it being a way to save your job? And you know what I'm talking about, like as far as other guys being able to save their jobs because a guy going to come in here and say, hey, look, I'm going to pick this guy, I'm going to pick that guy. I don't need him. They can all go because they ain't doing a good job anyway, which probably what the new person would be coming in and saying. And then, you make this move to make sure everybody can keep their job and try to prove that they are as good as they think or say they are. And regardless, the people who have been suffering the most is us. Everybody who is in this chat, everybody who is a part of this live right now, we have been the ones that's suffering the most. I understand the players and everything
That's
like
facts.
that, but then the day you think about it, the players still get paid to play something that they want to do. You know what I'm saying? We don't get paid to come to the games. We pay to come to the games.
Right.
So it's a difference.
Let's get it said. The initial graphic I had up to have JJ McCarthy as notable, but don't have Penix up there is a disgrace. He was drafted before JJ and not notable, like he was a part of that draft class. And what he trying to say is they made it seem like he wasn't the first round pick, and he was the number 8 pick. And the type of disrespect with that, and like somebody said in the chat earlier, the only way to stop that is you got to put up numbers. You got to win football games. And he's ended up on the bad side because he's coming back from an ACL injury, and recovery period to me is still unpredictable. So we don't know what's going to happen with that. So when you look at his timetable for return, while those guys are going to still be playing and still thriving in their system, he has to go through a whole new system, a whole new coaching staff, new way to do things. And he got to recover. OTAs, he's not going to be ready. He may be out there throwing, but as far as moving around, he won't move around. He'll just be out there slinging the football. Training camp, after OTAs, training camp. Don't think he'll be ready for that. Same thing. He'll probably be out there throwing, but he won't be out there moving around. And like I said, I may be wrong. Preseason, I absolutely think he won't be ready. And if he is ready, guess what? He's going to sit all 3 preseason games.
You better believe it.
So,
and that's what I'm saying right there. You better believe it. And it's just so, and I just feel like that just always just been so wild to me. Just because I'm like, you want him to get his first live action, or you want the starters, period. Just not even him. The starters, period, to get their first taste of real live action of, got going against guys who are not friendlies, against guys who are trying to, inflict malice upon them. And you don't want to bring them in to at least experience some of that before when it actually matters as far as like in the win-loss column. People talk about injuries, but again, I'm still going to be the same guy that beats the same drum that says you can get injured walking to the mailbox. And if God is meant for you to get injured, I ain't gonna lie to you, ain't no amount of time you sitting is going to stop you from getting injured if that is going to be a part of your story.
Right. But see, a lot of people don't think about that. But John said Josh McDaniels did Drake made no favors. He talking about the Super Bowl with those slow developing long ass plays instead of dinking and dunking and wearing the defense down with the amount of plays, run plays versus pass plays. And you're absolutely correct. Josh McDaniels called a horrible game. And nobody's going to tell you that. But, I mean, look, it's over and done with.
Them plays were slower than molasses dripping off of snails behind. It just
Moody, what's up, my guy? Yeah, I mean, look. Tate said he got a trade idea. Mooney and a pick for a Doomsday. That won't happen. If what was the Patriots wide receiver Jalen?
To be honest, I don't want to have to trade a pick for a Doomsday. Because
he's not going anywhere anyway. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, you probably can get Cole Kmet cheaper than that. He's a tight end, and he's got one or two more years on his deal. But let's be real, the tight end they drafted last year, he's gonna take that number one spot. So hey, Ian Cunningham coming from there, he might persuade Cole Kmet to come here or get traded and come here. So I mean, we'll see a lot of surprises this offseason because you got to remember. Kevin Stefanski got Cleveland Browns that are probably going to get cut, such as Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku say he's not coming back. Denzel Ward, he may get cut, the cornerback. So we need a number 2 corner. So I mean, it's still a lot, left to be desired as to how this team is going to be built. Excuse me. So when you think about that, Tay, I think they have a better chance of getting Jalen Polk because I think he may be a free agent. I think he with the Saints right now. And don't know if he's going to make that final roster, but I would take a better rain check on Jalen Polk.
Oh, Jalen Polk, man. Yeah, man. Try to get you some weapons that at least your quarterback is familiar with.
Right. But that's why I said when Jalen Polk was in New England and he wasn't performing like they thought he would, they ended up cutting him, and the Falcons could have got him. For a little nothing, but I think they traded some round pick for him. But still, go ahead.
I think he went to the Bucks, correct? Or something like that.
No, that's McMillan.
That's McMillan.
Jalen Polk went to the Saints, I think. Yeah. So, familiarity is everything. We talk about that. But if he becomes available again as a free agent, I definitely could see the Falcons bring him in because Falcons are about to be thin at wide receiver because I think David Seals may come back. Mooney, I'm on the fence for him, so we don't know if he's going to come back. But Chris Blair, he's a practice squad player. Who else can you name? It's not many.
Nash is gone.
So, I mean, we're going to rebuild it. Go ahead.
No, I just said Nick Nash is gone.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah, he's in Washington. He's in the Washington practice squad. So, he said, actually, if you watch all 22, May wasn't taking his first reads and check downs that were open. Yeah, I saw that during the Super Bowl, and Kurt Breaker did break it down. I actually said that while I was watching the game because he had one guy, I want to say it was Butte. He ran a outside post route toward the sideline, had him wide open, but he looked back the other way. And let's be real, it's maturity. He's still young, and his immaturity showed a lot during that game. So that interception he thrown. Right. The interception
that was a bad.
That
was a bad pick. That was a bad one.
Poor communication. And that's on Josh McDaniels. And I know y'all might say it's the quarterback, but if you just look at that play, That was a real bad, communication between the quarterback and the receiver and the person calling the plays. So, yeah. But about Michael Penix, man, when you just sit back and just think about just how much he's been through in his first I would say year and a half, because it's 2 years football years, but it's really a year and a half. And I'm gonna just pull up his stats right quick, so y'all can get an idea of what I'm about to say.
Oh, Michael Penix.
But and
All
see,
I'm
this is
saying
why I
is,
don't
remember,
agree with
y'all.
graphics all the time. Go ahead.
No, I just said, man. Remember, we had the
But
Patriots on the
now,
ropes now.
right. But just think about this. When you think about these graphics that we put up, if you look at all of those quarterbacks, with the exception of JJ McCarthy, all of them have at least, I would say, 25 starts at the least. Because in the 2 seasons, that's 34 starts. You have some of them that have, 30 plus starts, because they've started ever since, they were drafted. Then you had guys like JJ McCarthy that was injured, Jaden Daniels was injured. Um, and you look at Michael Penix numbers. First year, only 3 games started, 1-2 record, only threw 105 passes. Then you look at year 2, 3-6, and that wasn't all on him. That was to me mainly on Zach Robinson. Yes, he made mistakes, but he wasn't coached properly. But when you look at 276 attempts, that's not much at all. 1,982 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Touchdown to interception ratio is good as hell his second season. So you see the growth just a little bit. And then you talk about, we were talking about he needs to learn to put air up under the ball. That Indianapolis game, he did it a couple of times that game, so that showed you he was growing. So when you look at this dynamic as far as exposure, as far as reps, right, as far as reps, Michael Penix hasn't had a lot of reps. And we talk about preseason even, getting reps in preseason. These guys, some of them played in preseason. Michael Penix didn't. So when you talk about being able to coach, having the right coaching staff around you, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Inexperience. Inexperience hurt his first 2 seasons. And a lot of those plays, if he had a competent coordinator and a competent head coach, I think Michael Penix would have been far ahead of the curve. He would probably be up there with Bo Nix and Drake May and those guys, being a playoff quarterback.
And I would have to add.
So we can't blame him for that 100%. But go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add to that and piggyback off the point about the coaching. Not just that. If we just had also the proper kicking, special teams, taking advantage. Because you look at 2 or 3 of those losses that made Michael Penix be 3-6. Some of those he was on the sideline and had nothing to do with anything. We have guys missing extra points. We got guys missing field goal kicks to tie the game to possibly go into overtime. We were supposed to go into overtime a few times. And then also, you think about the Colts game, we had them on the ropes as well. And it's just the defense, they just was tired. And so it's like, there's a few of those games that you look at. Now, the Dolphins game, I ain't got nothing to say, even though Penix wasn't playing that game. But, I mean, the Panthers game, I ain't got nothing to say. But you think about a few of those games within those losses, they really didn't have to be. Guys just weren't doing their jobs.
Right. Yeah. And that started with coaching. Because if they're not doing their job, that means the coach not doing theirs. Tate said, I heard that Troy Andersen is told for next year. So is he under contract for 2026 at 1.5? I know how y'all feel about him, and if he's healthy, that's a good cheap backup piece. He got drafted in 2022, correct? So he didn't have a 5th year. So 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 25 would be his last year, so he's not under contract. And if he does come back, 1.5 might be the vet minimum for his position. And that's true. He could be a nice backup piece, and he's a damn good special teams player. But honestly, I think if I was him, I would stay in Atlanta, because I know if I stay in Atlanta, I may get a benefit of a doubt and may get some playing time as a special teams player and a backup linebacker. So if he was smart and his contract was out, I would resign with Atlanta for the vet minimum and see what I can come up with for a year. But I'm gonna stick with what I said, and I've been saying for the last 8 months. I still think he got 1 foot on the practice field, one in the retirement door, simply because of the injuries he's had. So I tell you, I mean, at a veteran price, that I agree, I would do it.
I ain't gonna lie. I think he's gone.
8-2
Um,
said,
I think, yeah, I think Troy Anderson is gone. Mainly because he stay on the field. He was drafted the same year Arnold Applicati, so both of those guys are technically free agents. And also, their new regime did not have anything to do with him as far as drafting him or anything. Even Jeff Obert. Jeff Obert didn't draft Troy Anderson. Jeff Obert didn't have any say with Troy Anderson.
right.
So if they moved on from him, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Um, because I do feel like his days as far as like playing football may be winding down. He wasn't able to get on the field the entire year, which also makes me wonder and worried about Braylon Trice as well. But that's another topic. But Troy Anderson, I think Troy Anderson is gone. If they bring him back, as a rotational piece, okay. But in my heart, I just feel like Troy Anderson is gone.
Yeah, agreed. 8-2 said the Panthers game they had Mike throwing the same routes. The defensive coordinator watched the film and Zach and Raheem didn't switch anything. Absolutely. And that's what I said. In-game adjusting is smart, man. Smart. And if y'all don't know how to adjust in-game as the game goes on, guess what? They're gonna read what you're doing, and you could talk about turnovers all you want, just like the pick six he threw in the Carolina game. If
Yeah,
they know the play is coming, as soon as Mike turned his head and stared down the receiver, that was an easy touchdown. So when you think about coaching and what they have right now, and I keep telling y'all, this is why I think the Falcons and Matt Ryan went out and got Kevin Stefanski because of the quarterback position. And Mike was a big factor of that. They want to try to find out if they can get the best out of Michael Penix. If not, if they move on, they'll still have the same staff in place and be able to develop another quarterback. Because with that staff that they have right now that they just put together, they would be able to develop a quarterback, whether he's a rookie or not, whether he's a second or third year guy. Like Davis Mills, Berto put that out that Davis Mills would be a nice pickup for the Falcons at quarterback, a bridge guy. He wouldn't cost much, and he could come in and do the job because with the Texans last year, I think he quarterbacked 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they were like 4-1, if I'm not mistaken. And he threw about, I want to say 5 to 6 touchdowns, and he threw 10 touchdowns, I think. And he threw, I think, 3 interceptions. I think he had better record than Penix in 5 games, up to Penix in his 9. So when you look at that aspect of the quarterback positioning, and they can develop a quarterback or bring one in and keep everything copacetic and on the right path, I think it makes sense.
Mhm. We'll see, man. Davis
Thank you for
Mills.
the support. Can't we smash? Well, that's
Oh
a
yeah.
handle for your ass, ain't it? Go ahead.
Yeah, but Davis Mills. I mean, that's
BT
an
Joy, what's
option
good?
again. Yeah, man. What's good, Joy? And everything, but yeah, it's an option. I mean, also you can think about Carson Wentz if you're gonna go down that route too. I mean, guys that played at least in the system that you know of. I try to say the Case Keenum before as well. I mean, again, I don't like the names, but again, if you got to see what the Falcons want to do. As far as quarterback, they have to have at least some kind of insurance because Kurt, again, that possibly could be an option as far as after being cut, but you look around and most guys who at least are decent, those teams are going to try to keep and hold on to those backups. Like Jacoby Brissett, I wouldn't be surprised if Malik Willis gets re-signed, like all those different things. Because backup quarterback is actually becoming a commodity because some of these, some other guys are getting hurt. Like even like Jordan Love. So that's another thing. Like you got to think about. Like okay, and Mac Jones, like the 49ers, they're saying that they want to try to keep Mac Jones. So that's another thing you got to think about. So it's like we want these guys, but
And the crazy thing about that, before you go on,
no, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, go ahead.
I'm looking for some. Go ahead. No, I'm
But
looking
yeah,
at some
man, I'm just
on Twitter right quick. Go ahead.
okay, yeah. But strapped up 24 said, man, just bring in Max Crosby, and half of our defensive issues are solved. Ah, man, I don't know about half of our defensive issues, but I ain't gonna lie to you, Max
StreamYard again.
Crosby. Yeah, man, StreamYard, it's been bad really the whole stream because that's why like we've been kind of like bumping into each other. StreamYard just, I don't know, man. StreamYard just need to get their act together. They just need to get their act together. No, I'm good on Justin Fields. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What about Justin Fields? I still say no to Justin. Yeah, I still say no to Justin. I hate to say that. Um, Strapped up 24 say, come on, stream, y'all, stop doing this now. I can read it. Strapped up said 24 said, man, just bring in Max Crosby and half of our defense issues is fixed. That's true. But you got to just look at it from totality, as we always talk about. If those picks. And he's another with 10 plus. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, but you can go back and look at my video I put out a little earlier. I talked about a little bit as to why he made sense for the Falcons. And I'm telling you, if it worked for the Rams, it can work for the Falcons. They traded for Matthew Stafford, had a game changer, and it worked. But he's a quarterback. It's supposed to work. But if defense is going to be your identity going forward, which for the Falcons, I think it has to be, because they drafted heavy. You talk about Dorless, you talk about Walker, you talk about Pierce, you talk about Ororo, you talk about Watts, Bowman. I mean, it has to be their identity going forward. So why not go out and get a Max Crosby until, because we don't know what's going to happen with Pierce. Even if Pierce came back, I was still going to get Crosby, because guess what? I got a veteran. I know what I'm getting out of him. I know I'm getting double-digit sacks. And I know with the off the defensive line and what they did last year with 57 sacks, he just takes that to another level. I think we'll be on the same level with the Broncos. Just me.
Man,
And I
I
know
ain't
he
gonna
gonna
lie
cost.
to
I
you.
know he gonna cost.
Yeah, I was about to say, Smitty, he definitely gonna cost. And you think about it too, brother. I mean, if our GM is staying true to his word, what he's saying in the introductory press conference, there's no way that he's going to mortgage
Right.
draft picks to get Max Crosby. He's just not going to do it. He doesn't. He said it himself. He doesn't believe in mortgaging the future to try to satisfy the now. And he likes draft picks. So if they're talking
Okay.
about a good team,
Okay. But not to cut you off. Yeah. But not to cut you off. But let me just ask you this. I was looking at his contract and the way it was structured today. And only 2026 is the only year out of the 3 years remaining that he still has guaranteed money. Just think about that. If you
I
cut
mean
him,
that's
you don't owe him nothing. And see, this is why the Raiders, this is why they got over with that. If he doesn't have guaranteed money, he say, hey, after 1 year, this isn't working for me. You trade him, you get those assets back. Yeah, it might not be a first round pick, but you will at least get a second round pick or maybe a third and a fifth or something to that effect. So if you go out and pay him, you're gonna get it back if you can bring him in. If he doesn't work out, you trade him, and it still works because he has no guaranteed money, and he doesn't even cost as much as a Trey Hendrickson, as much as a Myles Garrett. He's at under $30 million. I think he's about 27, 28. So for a Pro Bowl player, that's pretty cheap. And I would roll with it. And sometimes,
I'm in
look,
agreement.
I go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just said I'm in agreement with you. I get I get where you're trying to go with it and everything. I do. But again, I'm just going off of the guy that we just hired and what he just said. If
No, I
that
know
is
it.
true,
Yeah, I
if
know it.
that holds any
Yeah, I
weight,
know it.
you know what I'm saying? If it holds any weight, brother, it's just not going to happen. I just don't see it happen because it is a good move. I agree with you, Max Crosby bringing them in, the name, everything like that. I get it, but just like you said, first of all, you have to talk to him and see if he's going to be willing to try to extend anything, or it's because it has to work if you go and trade assets for him. It ain't no, oh, if it doesn't work. No, 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 no. Because you, at the end of the day, you
Right.
still don't trade it valuable assets for this player. It has to work because the Raiders, I'm pretty sure, just hypothetically, the asking price is going to be, first of all, this year's second, next year's first, and possibly a fourth. So with that being said, I don't see it happening. Ian
But
Cunningham doing it. I
that
see
that's
Ian trying
that's
to gain more picks.
okay. Hey, look, I respect where you're going. I respect what you're saying. But I'm looking from the aspect is when you look at draft picks, if they're going to be a defensive end in this draft that's going to give you what Max Crosby gives you, is there a defensive end in next year's draft in the first round that's going to give you what Max Crosby gives you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Agreed.
And he's still 29 years old, 28, 29. So age is still on his side. But Furball, thank you for that super chat, man. I ain't mean to go on the rant, but he said I don't trust Penix. I'm sorry, he injury prone. Common sense, we need bridge. I'm just being real. Fans have to understand reality than just talk. And that's absolutely true, Furball. And I'll give you another stat with Mac Jones. Mac Jones and Chad Forbes put it up yesterday or a day before yesterday. He'll only be 1.5 million against the cap, wherever he is. That's very affordable. That's vet minimum for his position. So if you get a Mac Jones for 1.5 million, you mean tell me, and Chris talked about trading and what Ian Cunningham said, you mean tell me you wouldn't trade that second round pick for Mac Jones in that $1.5 million contract? And he could be a bridge guy for you. And think about it. He played up under Tommy Reese at Alabama. So he knows what Tommy Reese expects. So he knows the system. But hey, that's another story for another day. But to me, that's why Mac Jones makes sense for the Falcons. You can clip that.
Hey man, Mac Jones. Again, I like Mac Jones again, but I mean the 49ers, they aren't showing any willingness or any interest in possibly trading them. Trading my second round pick for Mac Jones. That sounds like to me like we're going to extend him as well, which means either one or two things. One of these guys is going to be a backup quarterback, either Penix on a rookie deal or Mac Jones because you extended him and he possibly won the job. Either way it goes, it still makes the Falcons still even look bad on the back end. I mean, nobody gonna care about that if you win it. But regardless, you look at it, it's gonna be like, well, dang, you drafted Michael
Facts.
Penix, you got him on a rookie contract, but now you don't trade it for Mac Jones, your second round pick. So you trade it, so you know what I'm saying. So you don't have a first and second round. You don't trade it for Mac Jones. You want to extend it him because it made sense to. And then now you have this quarterback controversy, and you back in the same pot, just a different quarterback now. As far as like the controversy, for Kurt and Michael, now it's gonna be Michael and Mac.
Right. Right. Razor Boy makes a great point with this, with the Kaden Elliss situation. He said, so how would you rework the salary cap, giving Rick's vouching to keep Elliss? How do we maneuver the salary cap to even bring him back in? That's an excellent question. But it's always the same question. You got to kick the can down the road. Yeah, yeah, kick the can down the road. But he's going to be between the $10 and $12 million range, and I would give it to him. And yeah, I know he's 31 years old. I know that. But at the same time, like we see it, you getting that leadership, and you have other guys out there like a Devin Lloyd who's going to be more like 20 million. So Jeff Ulbrich is thinking about chemistry. He knows Kaden Elliss is that glue guy. He knows you have to pay for that because I think he made 7 million, 8 million last year. So he hit 10 to 12. That's a raise anyway. and he's comfortable with the system, what Brick is trying to do. But the way you do maneuver that, you got to keep the can down the road here. Restructure Lindstrom. Restructure. Can't restructure Jake Matthews anymore. You can sign Bergeron to a new deal and find cap space that way. Restructure McGarry. Just restructure more AJ. But you can do it. But the reason why I would be hesitant to all of that is what I talked about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, with bringing in a center for the offensive line. And Tyler Linderbaum, to me, I'm telling y'all, he could be the missing piece for this offensive line, for this team. Because every time I think about it, I just think back to 2016 when we traded for Alex Mack from Cleveland. We got him for a 5th-round pick, I think. And he ended up being the deciding factor to this team taking the next step to being a Super Bowl team. And sometimes it's just that simple. So I would love for Kaden Elliss to come back, but if I had to choose between Elliss, Pitts, I'm still taking Linderbaum. Because with those other positions, you can find a Dawson Knox, who's a free agent at tight end this year, David Njoku. When you look at Kaden Elliss, there's a Quay Walker out there. There's other guys out there that can come in and do the same job. But when you talk about the center position on the offensive line, that's the key to the ignition with the quarterback. So I gotta clip that too.
The whole thing with Elliss, I think that he is a glue guy. And about Devin Lloyd, honestly, Devin Lloyd is really the complete linebacker. So paying him 20, it's really good money spent. But back to just Elliss, I think again, like he's the glue guy. He was used, I think, properly, especially like at the end of last year when Raheem or Jerry Gray or whoever took over the defense away from Jimmy Lake that time. I feel like Elliss was playing better then, and I feel like he played better this year. My question it's not. I'm gonna go a different route. It's not even about what we're paying him. Does Kaden Elliss want to play for the Falcons? Ever since he's been a Falcon, he hasn't been in the playoffs. Ever since he's been a Falcon, he hasn't been to the playoffs. Multiple coordinators, multiple coaches. Sometimes people get tired of that.
And I'm telling you, man. I think I can see him in Denver with Sean Payton because he played for him in New Orleans. And they need another linebacker. So that's a great point. Does he want to come back to Atlanta? But this is why I said you got to be strategic in your thinking. So what they have to do is just see where his mind is at before they do anything.
I'm just saying, fam. I'm just going a different direction because we never really talk about what the player may want. I'm just saying, like, if a team like Denver comes at Kaden and said, "Hey, you see what we're doing over here," and Sean calls him on the phone and say, "You see what we're doing out here. Do you want to come out here and play for a potentially championship defense?" He gonna butter it up, and of course he gonna downplay us too because we're the Falcons. Just building off of Smitty's point about the Broncos, and it's just like you don't think that he would think about possibly saying, "All right, yeah, y'all, it was nice. I love y'all, but what do we really accomplish?" I'm just trying to get y'all wheels to turn a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Zay. And brother over there too.
Yeah. Christian is over there too. Absolutely.
But again,
Giants radar, absolutely. Because
right.
Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, but I will say this though. Again, I'm just going a different direction. I'm not trying to say that the man don't want to play for the Falcons or he don't love us or anything like that. I'm just asking, do you guys, if you was to be in Kaden Elliss' shoes and go through everything that Kaden Elliss has gone through, now you're a free agent. Now you can kind of call your own shot and take your own contract. Do you fish around or do you say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stay here with Brick And we're finally going to get over the hump this year, even though the entire time I've been here, it's just been up and down, turmoil, changeover, switching hands, everything.
That's what I'm talking about. But Razor Boy said, do y'all feel like we're stuck giving expectations of what was said in on the Rise episode about losing season contracts hitting at the same time on offense? Man, I hate to be the GM. But see, this is the tough. This is what, and this is why I always tell y'all, nobody's safe. When you talk about things like that with the contracts, nobody's safe. And a lot of people were pissed off when I see it. Maybe and Chad Ford brought it up, and I just did a video on it earlier about Drake London. I don't want Drake London to go nowhere. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't think he's a $30 to $35 million receiver. If we talking 25, maybe. 35, hell no. Do you know what we can do with $35 million? Do you know what we can do with $35 million a year?
Man. Shit, we've been talking about what we could have done with the money if we didn't pay Kurt for the last whatever now.
Exactly. And I don't, because think about it. The top wide receiver is at 40 million. The next guy is at what, 35 million, which is I think CD Lamb. And Jamar Chase is at 37 and a half. So you talk about three wide receivers right there, right at that 35 million mark, and Drake London is nowhere in their territory. And there's no disrespect to him. He's not even on their level. So you mean tell me you would pay Drake, Jamar Chase money, Justin Jefferson money, CD Lamb money? Hell, I wouldn't even pay him George Pickens money. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. And like I say, it's no knock to him. I just don't feel like he's on the level. I mean, hey, I'm just saying. That's just me. Take it how y'all want. That's just me.
Nah, I feel you. Did you all see the report that
You got to drop
the
the mic on that
Falcons
one.
are?
Go ahead.
I said, did you also see that the Falcons are considering Drake London to be in? I believe if I read that right, the $32 to $34 million range.
What range was that?
32 to $34 million range. Like that's the trajectory that they feel he's on.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And like I said, there's no knock to him. But think of it as how I take it. Is Drake London realistically a number one on another team with a number one receiver? Absolutely not. He'll be T. Higgins to somebody else's Jamar Chase. And T. Higgins is at how much? About 23 million? Somewhere in that range?
Somewhere in that, I think somewhere between 23, 28.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. And think about what I said about Kyle Pitts. Remember, Chris? If you sign Kyle Pitts to a new deal, he's going to cost half of what Drake London is going to make. And you get the same talent, if not better talent, in Kyle Pitts when he's included in the offense. So no way I'm giving Drake London $30, $35 million. That's just me. That's just me.
No, I understand, man. I definitely get it. I mean, it's all about position. Because, I mean, okay, you look at it like this. If Drake London was a tight end, right, would you pay him 16, 18 million?
If he was a tight end, absolutely.
And the reason why the reason why I say that is because you said that you feel like it might, you didn't say it would, but you said it might be, even better talent with Kyle Pitts over Drake London. But I mean, if we just look at it all, though, I mean, Kyle Pitts, he can be subjective. Drake London, I guess you could say the same, but I'm just saying, like, when the ball is in the air and I need somebody to come down with the ball, I know it's gonna be Drake London. When I need a really good block, because here comes Bijan Robinson on the outside.
And I get that part, and that's the best part of his game.
I mean, Drake London, he also
I agree
brings
with
in a
that
lot of
because I get it. His basketball background plays into how he plays. Because I watch.
right.
I get where you're going, man. I do, but I watched Antonio Gates coming up, and Antonio Gates' basketball background, Antonio Gonzalez background helped them a lot in how they played the game.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm gonna do. I know I got to run because I got things I got to do and got to get into. But I'm gonna show y'all something right quick. As to why I feel the way I do. Let's look at this right quick, very quick. These are the top paid receivers in the NFL right now. Look at these numbers. Look at the top 6. How many of them do you put Drake London in front of? Out of these top 6, how many do you put Drake London in front of? Now you can say Brandon Ayuk, I can go that one. That's number 7. T. Higgins, I think that's a push because T. Higgins is talented as well. He caught 11 touchdowns last year. Jalen Waddle is number 10. That's at 28.3. I give him that. He'll be right into that 28 range.
But I think he's better than Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle is just a speed guy.
I give you that. God damn it. I give you that.
Man.
But of those top 6, that's at $30 million right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's at $30 million right there. So you mean to tell me, yeah, he might be top 10, but you're gonna put him in front of one of these guys in the top 7? I mean the top 6. That's $30 million. That's a threshold right there.
Man,
and he wants $30 million a year. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's top 10.
yeah,
But at the same time, I'm looking at this list as to what they get paid a yearly salary. Go ahead.
Oh no, but Smitty, you know how people reset the markets and all that stuff like that too. At the end of the day, you look at it. Some of these guys are still going to get another payday even after Drake. So whatever Drake gets, it's going to be most of these guys on the list going to eclipse it anyway.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, it's just me right now. I just don't see any of those guys. That's just me. Because at the end of the day, it's about production. He had an injury last year. He did not get to 1,000 yards. He only had 1,000 yard receiving year in his career so far. That's going to play a factor. Another factor is he going to take a little pay cut and not go so high to help the team out. That's another thing. A lot of that can play into this.
For sure. Definitely. I mean, I definitely get it.
And like I said, man, don't get me wrong. I want to see Drake London come back. I want him to stay a Falcon. But that price point just don't sit well with me. Go ahead.
No, and again, I'm with you, bro. I am. I'm just thinking about how the market is, and we can never control the market. Like, we can never control it. But at the same time, we already have been seeing guys are not getting paid or getting extensions, and the value of certain guys are not what they think it is because, with the pay going up, it's like, okay, well, this guy isn't worth that many millions of dollars. And that's what teams are starting to make the decision on. It's like, is this guy worth that? Is this guy worth that? Even though the money is going up and the market is going up, something that nobody can control. I mean, more and more people are watching the sport. and continuously watching the sport. It's almost like the NFL can do no wrong as far as viewership, but that just means that
But think
the
about that.
money is
Think
flowing.
about that money that we getting though. Think about that money we getting. 12.5 of it is going to Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, we already knew that though. We already knew that you're gonna have to really get ready to restructure somebody. Like honestly, you're gonna have to restructure some people to even get some cap relief anyway. You're gonna have to cut some people as well to get like even if it's a couple of a meal or two. I mean, you're gonna have to try to finagle it however you can. You're gonna have to try to navigate it, and that's why I was like, that's why like I agree with the comment earlier about boy, I just hate to be the GM because yeah, you got to navigate this thing and you have to prepare for the now and for the future.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
But
we got to
we'll
get
have
ready to get
further
about
discussion on this down the road, man. Trust me, it's coming back around. It's coming back around, especially
yeah,
with the new league you're starting. Oh yeah, it's coming back around. It's coming back around. But tell everybody where to find you, man. We gotta get out of here.
yeah, man. A1 Forever Sports, that's a platform on YouTube, man. Please come over, be a part of the A1 family. Love to have you. Also, same for Hawks Digest. Me, Walter Pollard, and Mikey, we over there doing our thing. Hawks, going into the All Star break on a losing streak, but hopefully they can turn it back around. Twitter, A1 Forever. Instagram, A1 Forever. And the real A1 Forever on TikTok, man. Thank y'all, as always, for pulling up on us like you always do.
Facts, facts, facts. Y'all know where to catch me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. Also catch me on Twitter at fatboyslim_. I apologize for that. I had technical difficulty. They just kicked me out of the studio. They just said, "Get your ass out of here." Um,
Yeah.
Again, man, y'all right here on right here on YouTube at Smitty Sports Machine. Also catch me on Twitter at fatboyslam_21. I'm always over there blowing that thing up. Trust me, this discussion is far from over. We will revisit this again once contracts started getting paid, and once the dust starts to clear, because we'll have a clear cut indication of what the salary cap will look like in a couple of months. Going well, let me see next month, because the new league year starts in about a month. Actually, it's a month from tomorrow. So the new league year starts a month from tomorrow, and we'll get a clear cut picture as to how the contracts will look, who they will bring back, who they will prioritize, who they will restructure, and we'll get an idea how everything goes. Because y'all got to remember too, B. John is up for a big deal, and he's the best player on the team, and you're not going to slight him for London or nobody else. But like I said, there's no shot to Drake London. Love him as a Falcon. Um it's just my way of thinking when it comes to the money aspect. And we talk about the quarterback that he's had. Andre Johnson never had a good quarterback except Max Schaub. Larry Fitzgerald didn't get a good quarterback till late in his years with Kurt Warner. So it
Mhm.
happens. You just have to make the best of it. If you that receiver, and can't nobody take that away from you. Just my quick thought. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. Another pop-up show, another successful show. Again, we will see y'all soon. Don't know how soon, but if news breaks, y'all know we got you. For my boy Chris, this your boy Antoine Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.